Hello viewers, Joe's HVAC Piano Fishing and Rail Fan Productions here, and today we are going to take a look at my Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Bloomsburg branch display. I have done to the best of my ability to replicate part of the Bloomsburg branch as best as possible. As you can see here are two DL&W rails put together on 3 DL&W plates from 1925. Rails were rolled in 1927 and 1926. The display here is set up just like so. Whereas you can see here, we have our standard DL&W Bloomsburg branch setup. So as you can see here, the rail size is 130 pounds per yard, but it is a RE variant. So it's a pretty old design from the 1920s. And it is one of a kind. And it was actually the first ever rail to use a 6-inch base in the Arima standards that we still have today. So as you can see, both have been beautifully polished. This one didn't come out as nice because I didn't have quite enough materials in order to do the full sanding procedure, or up to 5K grit. And this one here, I was able to get all the way up to 5,000 grit. As you can see here, it's just a mirrored finish that I applied to them. This one has a mirrored finish, but it's not quite as good as the other one. So we're going to have to do a little work on this one to improve it a little bit. This one here will also be getting the Lackawanna treatment, but because it is slightly longer, it can get the DL&W added as well, which you'll probably see that on my 282 now that that's all fully redone. So the profile is relatively unique as well, because you can see here it's kind of similar to 136 RE, but it's smaller, and it's got the same head width of 2 and 5/16 inch, or 2 and 11/16 inch, or no, excuse me, 2 and 15/16 inches is the width of the head. The base width is 6 inches, and the height is 6 3/4 when not worn down. This one has been reversed once in its life because it's got a double mushroom on it. So that's kind of interesting to see a DL&W rail with a double mushroom on it. So you can see this one's been abandoned for quite some time. It hasn't seen the shine that it has now in probably almost 70 years. This one had been abandoned for about 20 years, possibly even pushing 25 at the latest, judging by the amount of pitting that this has. This one here was a fairly recent acquisition. These were recent acquisitions. Got them from a friend of mine who is also a restoration specialist. As you can see here, we got the DL&W plates that you would originally find on the Bloom. These ones were right near me, so I was able to pick them up from a friend who didn't want them. And he was like, Joe, restore them and put them on static display. So that's exactly what I did. And now they are beautifully restored, holding a static display to make it look like the Bloomsburg branch. So as you can see here, the plates do have an inscription on them. This is from the steel mill. I don't know how I can read it, but it says 1925 Bethlehem Steel Company, 12 and 13/16 inches, DL&W. So this is really cool to find. These are from the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad. So as you can see here, got your old school studs. Which I don't know if there is signaling or not on the current active part of the Bloom. Somebody could tell me if there's signaling or not. But I believe these were for signaling purposes or for telegraphs. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to need somebody to help me out with that. But as you can see here, beautifully restored. They look as good as new. And I am super happy that they turned out as good as they did. So as you can see here, we got them both together, just like they once were way back when. Also, here's the Delaware Lackawanna and Western logo. The Lackawanna you'd see on the side of steam engines. And because these are steam era rails from the 1920s, they get the Lackawanna logo and the DL&W treatment. So these are painted DL&W black along with the plates. So if optional, we can put DL&W on the sides of the plates here, or we can just put them on the rail, which I really just prefer on the rail, like on this one here. This is another Delaware Lackawanna and Western display. This one displaying what the Kaiser Valley branch would have looked like way back when. So anyway, that's going to cover it for this video. I hope you like my Bloomsburg branch display. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care, all.